LA loves Alex's Lemonade. Make some noise, clap your hands. It's a beautiful day in Los Angeles. We're so glad that you're here. Once again, I'm Billy Harris, glad to be back once again. So, every year it's amazing how this event comes together, and that is because of a lot of chefs, a lot of help, a lot of sponsors, and especially three dear friends of mine, Suzanne Going, David Lentz, and Carolyn Stein. So can you give them and everyone, chefs, sponsors, volunteers, everybody, a thunderous round of applause. It definitely takes a village. It takes a big village. And we're all here every year for year number 7, which is amazing. So we're just going to move right along with the program. And I've been involved with Alex's for the past 8 or 9 years myself. As you all know, we have events all over the country. And it really gives me pleasure to introduce the two people whose daughter started this by selling lemonade out of her front yard to raise money to help other kids fight cancer. And just so everyone knows, if you're new to this event, Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation has raised over $100 million that all started in the great city of Philadelphia. So we raise money to help a lot of kids and to beat pediatric cancer. So a big thunderous round of applause for the co-executive directors, Alex's parents, Jay and Liz Scott, everybody.
Thank you, Billy. I want to thank everybody here today for coming out to this amazing event. I want to thank our two presenting sponsors, Northwestern Mutual, who has been amazing supporters of Alex's all across the country at all of our events, and Volvo Cars, also, who have been sponsors of Alex's since Alex was really set up in our front yard. I also want to send big thanks out to David, Caroline, Suzanne, sorry. I'm nervous. I also want to thank Mackenzie and Janice for helping gather events. I want to thank all the chefs and the mixologists and the vintners. Have you guys had any good food today? And without the volunteers that are here, if you see somebody in an orange shirt, they are volunteering their time today. You know, getting people in, taking out the trash, doing everything. You know, it's amazing. Without them, this would not happen. I want to thank the hero families that are here. These are families where their kids are fighting cancer or have fought cancer. Thank you guys for coming out. And we have some childhood cancer researchers that Alex has funded here today. So thank you to them for what you do every day. This is amazing. You know, Billy said that this started in our front yard with one lemonade stand, and it literally did start in our front yard with one lemonade stand. Alex had this crazy idea, okay? If you saw this in a movie, you wouldn't believe that it was true, that a girl who was 4 years old wanted to have a lemonade stand to help try and cure cancer. That's Hollywood stuff, right? But that is literally what Alex did. She received a treatment when she was 4 that changed her life. It didn't save her life, but it added 4 years onto her life. And she told us she wanted to set up a lemonade stand, and we thought she wanted to buy a toy or something. And we said, what toy is it that you want to buy? Because we'll just buy it for you. She said, no, I don't want to keep the money. I want to give it to the doctor so they can come up with treatments like one she had received. And, you know, we thought it was a cute idea, but we kind of teased her a little bit that she was going to set up a lemonade stand and give the doctors $5 or $10 and tell them to come up with new treatments. Well, that first stand, she did $2,000, okay? We have 2,000 people here today. How things have grown, right? Her second stand, thank you. Her second stand did $12,000 in the front yard. All right. Her next stand did $18,000 in the pouring rain in our front yard, and it just kept growing from there. Okay, Billy said that we've raised 100 million. I think it's more like 130 million, but that doesn't matter if the money's not making a difference. So I want to share with you 2 stories about difference the money's making. Okay, imagine that you have a child who has a brain tumor that's relapsed, and you're told that there's no treatment options. Okay, true story. But imagine this is you, and the doctor says, listen, I have one treatment that I've never tried on a human before, but I think it might help you. And those of you that watch 60 Minutes, this story was on 60 Minutes a couple of months ago, and it was on last year. Well, this is a project that we funded starting in 2005. And this guy had a crazy idea, kind of like Alex had this crazy idea of a lemonade stand, that he could take the polio virus and make it so that it could fight the cancer. Because you get the polio vaccine and your body won't get polio, but the polio, the body will think that the cancer is actually polio and fight it on its own. So this girl decided to get it. Okay, so they injected it into her brain tumor, and she got really sick. But after a couple of weeks, she slowly got better and better. And when they did an MRI, the tumor would look like a raisin. When she got that treatment, it was like the size of a lime. It killed the tumor. Okay, 5 years now, she has been no sign of disease except for that little shriveled up raisin. They think it's just dead tissue. Okay, she went away to college. She's an oncology nurse. Okay, pretty cool. So it was on 60 Minutes this year because it's worked so well. It hasn't cured everybody that they've tried it on, but it's cured a lot of people. But they're going to make it available at 40 places across the country. Before, you had to go to North Carolina to get it. You guys have a part of that, because everything that you donate here today funds projects like that. So you guys have literally helped save that girl's life. All right, so thank you for that. I want to tell you about one other project that we just started funding, okay? This is pretty neat. Alex had neuroblastoma, and we just funded a clinical trial for neuroblastoma, and it gives hope to people from all over the country whose cancer won't go away. Okay, so what they do with this trial is, if your kid relapses, they do a biopsy of the cancer so they can tell exactly what the cancer looks like after you've relapsed, and they customize the treatment based upon that biopsy. So one of the problems with childhood cancer is a lot of the treatments hurt the kids, so they're not going to give the kids any of those treatments that aren't going to work, and they're only going to use the treatments that have a chance at working. So thank you guys for coming out today, and thank you for helping us to save kids' lives, and thank you for actually saving the lives by donating the money.
I got to put this in here. I'm not as talented as Jay, so hold on a second. Okay. So I want to say thank you also. We can't say it enough, so I'm sorry if it's repetitive, but I do want to thank Carolyn, Suzanne, and David, because without them, I wouldn't be standing here. And I always think I'm not going to get emotional, but it happens. It's a gift as a mom to see something like this that's continued, but it's a gift to every family whose child is battling cancer to see this kind of support, and we couldn't do it without these 3 people who just saw the need and thought, sorry about that, they could do something to make a difference. So we've come a long way since this event was created. I know a lot of people have been coming for years. It blows me away, but at the same time, today isn't that different from the past. Because Alex's simple wish, when she opened her lemonade stand to raise money to help doctors help kids like her, was pretty straightforward. She just wanted to cure other kids. It's so sweet, especially coming from a 4-year-old, but at the same time, it's not simple at all to cure cancer. It's an aspirational goal at best, and a huge complex problem to solve at worst. Some people would say it's an impossible vision that only a 4-year-old could imagine was possible. But I'm here to tell you it is possible. Jay just talked about some of the things that are happening, but modern medicine is filled with procedures and therapies that were probably deemed impossible at some time. X-rays, blood transfusions, organ transplants, things we take for granted now. And if that doesn't convince you, if you're thinking, yeah, but cancer is different, childhood cancer is different, then I ask you to think about this. In 1975, just 50% of children diagnosed with cancer survived 5 years. Today, that figure is nearly 80%. So For the glass half full, I guess you could say, of lemonade, for these types of people, this is very hopeful because it shows that we can solve childhood cancer with the right approach, the right resources. We can find more cures and less toxic cures. We can increase survival rates. It has been done. It's not impossible. But for the glass half empty people out there, 80% survival is a sad statistic. 1 out of 5 of our children who are diagnosed today will not survive more than 5 years. And let me tell you, as a parent, when you hear that, it's a terrifying statistic. I was always told you're either glass half full or glass half empty person. But somehow I think Alex's Lemonade Stand, these people on the stage, everybody here, we know that we can be both. We see the positives and the possibilities. We're not afraid to dream a big, huge goal like curing cancer. I mean, Alex taught us that, right? But at the same time, we see the gaping holes that we've left for our children. We know firsthand the challenges, the sense of failure, and the desperation that goes along with not being able to cure your child. So we think we're in a great position now to bring it together, that optimistic hope that we can cure cancer with the pessimist sense of urgency that drives us every single day to do more, do it better, do it faster. We've always tried to solve this problem not by saying what's happening and trying to do more of the same, but by saying what isn't happening and how can we make it happen. There are no shortage of ideas, believe me, and so many smart people studying this disease. But sadly, there's a shortage of resources and funds, something anyone in the childhood cancer community is acutely aware of. We need to change that because our kids deserve better. It feels very unsettling, and I was really nervous about delivering this talk because it's such a direct plea, and I know this is such a feel-good event. But in comparison to how I feel when I think of what Alex went through to be cured, it pales. And it pales in comparison to what I feel when you hear of another child whose life has been stolen by cancer. Childhood cancer steals the lives of more children in our country than the next 5 most lethal diseases combined. To put it in perspective, imagine that starting today, 10 children died to a catastrophe of some type. And then tomorrow, 10 more. And the day after that, 10 more. And the day after that, 10 more children gone. In less than a week, there would be a huge outpouring of support. It would be a news story of the highest level of coverage. There would be a huge effort on the behalf of people, companies, government coming together to end the problem. We've seen it happen numerous times when tragedy strikes our country. We respond quickly and generously as we should. But it's been happening to children with cancer every single day. Not just for a week or a month or a year, but every single day for decades and decades. As a parent, I can't help but ask, why is this okay? It was extremely frustrating and heart-wrenching to watch Alex fight for her life, knowing that with, sorry about that, who's throwing things at me? Knowing that with more research, she could have been cured if it had been done faster. And as inspiring as it is that she set up a lemonade stand and we're so incredibly proud of her, part of me resented that at times, thinking that we as parents, as adults, have witnessed this huge problem and we're putting it in a 4-year-old's hands to solve. At the age of 4, she knew that with the right resources, we could cure this disease. And as she grew more ill and it stole more from her, she knew she needed others to help. She wanted us to know we could cure this disease if we come together. I'm so proud of her for having the courage and the strength to get out there and challenge people. And that's why I felt I needed to do it today. Today is a great example of how we've accepted that challenge and we're coming together and we're raising millions of dollars. This is our largest turnout for this event. It just keeps getting bigger. And as Jay mentioned, her challenge is working. We are saving lives. It's extraordinary, it's humbling, and I'm extremely grateful. But I'm going to leave with this thought. We should celebrate the progress that has been made. I don't know, my husband's accused me of being a Debbie Downer at times, but I don't want you to think we're not here to celebrate that progress. We should be grateful for it, but we can't lose sight of the fact that we still have work to do. I know I'm up for the challenge. Everybody on the stage is clearly up for the challenge. I hope you are too, because we're not going to stop until the day we finish what Alex started. And we can say that we have cured all children with cancer. And I'm so grateful to all of you for being a part of it. I truly am. So now I have the great pleasure of introducing a couple of young men who are going to come up on stage and share with you their story. This is the emotional part for me. We have two of our sons here, and they also share something with these boys, and that they've lost a sibling to cancer. And I want you to give them your attention. And Dario and Emilio and Mom and Dad, could you come on up and share your story? Thank you. Yeah, good idea. Okay.
My name is Dario Rosolo. I'm 10 years old. This is my brother Emilio. He's 8. I should have an older brother, someone to look up to, someone to help me with my homework, someone to play with, even someone to complain to about cleaning my room. But cancer took that away. I'm here to tell you about my brother Enzo, remembering Enzo, and how Alex's Lemonade Stand is part of my life. Enzo was and still is in my heart my older brother. Lorenzo Bela Rosolo, Enzo, was born on January 14th, 2003. At 9 months, he was diagnosed with stage 4 neuroblastoma, just like Alex. Enzo always smiled through everything he went through. I was looking through photos with my mom, and Enzo was smiling in everyone. Even when he was attached to lots of tubes, he kept on grinning. He would smile at everyone. Enzo's eyes were always full of joy and curiosity. He would smile at everyone he met. Doctors, cleaning people, nurses, even people he didn't know. He spent 7 months living in the hospital with doctors and nurses doing everything they could for him. At least one of my parents was always there around the clock. In May of 2004, Enzo passed away. Sadly, I never got to meet Enzo as he died 2 years before I was born. Sometimes I really wish I could meet him. Our family has different ways of remembering Enzo. We visit where he is buried. We celebrate his birthday as a family by going out to a special dinner. We have pictures of him all over the house, probably as many as there are of Amelia and me. I remember being really little and stretching up and kissing the pictures of him. One of the most significant ways we remember him is hosting our annual lemonade stand in his honor. We do this during May, the month that he died. I grew up with Alex's Lemonade Stand being an important part of my life. Our family has been doing our stand for 12 years, since 2005. We set up our stand for a whole day in San Diego's world-famous Balboa Park. For as long as I can remember, I've been helping out at the stand. I scoop ice, pour lemonade, and most of all, advertise. Since the time we started doing our stand, we raised about $100,000. It makes me very happy when all of my friends and family come to the stand, even some of my teachers. One of my favorite parts of the stand is that we help other people learn about the foundation and childhood cancer, and the message spreads everywhere. Even though Enzo is not with us anymore, he will always be known as my big brother, through pictures, memories, and Alex's Lemonade Stand. I know all of you share my passion, and maybe someday there will be a cure for the disease that took my brother away from me. I hope someday no families will have to wonder what it would be like if the
Big round of applause for Dario and Emilio and their family and everything that everyone here is doing. Okay, now it is your part, ladies and gentlemen, and this is our annual auction. And all of this is bigger than all of us combined out here today, and it's just for such a great, great cause. But for those of you that are new to this event, once again, it would be foolish of me not to give a big shout out to